within this system of inverted meanings, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Of course, the victims become the oppressors, right? And this is actually the strategy of woke identity politics and social justice warrioring, right? I think the acronym was DARVO, and the second part of DARVO is reverse victim and oppressor, or something like that, or that's the last part. Reverse victim and oppressor, something like that. In other words, it's part of the understood strategy of woke political maneuvering, if you will, right? That you reverse victim and oppressor. In other words, you tell people that the victim is the oppressor, and you tell them that the oppressor is the victim, which is exactly what is going on in Gaza, right? This is precisely what's going on. So you have an organization that is represented as tiny little David fighting big bad Goliath, right? So Gaza is supposed to be the tiny little David. Israel is supposed to be the big bad Goliath. But in reality, behind Hamas is a gigantic structure. And they're getting help not only from the Muslim world, they're getting help from all the Western world, and in particular from the US bosses, right? We've done a lot of work on the website to document this. So just go into the website and look for something, because that claim is all over the place, right? That the US bosses are in fact the main promoters of world jihad. We make this claim all over the place, almost in every article we publish. And we have reams and reams of documentation to support that claim, right? So in reality, it's not tiny little Hamas battling big bad Israel. In fact, it's the US bosses, the best friends of Qatar, who is the daddy of Hamas, right? Those are the guys screwing up Israel, the US bosses, right? So Israel is still David. They've always been. The Jews have always been David. And Goliath, the true Goliath, the US bosses, the most powerful people on the entire planet, those are the people trying to destroy Israel. They're the ones who created the so-called peace process, which is a war process. It's a genocide process against the Jews, right? They created that to bring the Jew killers into the Jewish state. And they are also the ones who are tightly allied with Qatar, sugar daddy for Hamas and creator of the Gazan terrorist state, right? So, and that's just one example, okay? Just go into the website and you'll see the entire pro-jihadi structure of the US bosses, which has been unfolding over several decades, is documented with exquisite care in many, many articles. So this is the real structure. The real structure is Israel is still David, and in fact, but not only that, the bad guys are clearly Hamas, because Hamas are the ones who have the genocidal ideology. They are the ones that live to murder another people, right? So everything is upside down. The good guys become the bad guys. The victims become the oppressors. War, war becomes peace. Freedom becomes slavery. Everything is inverted. You're living in an Orwellian world.